Hello, this is Christina again, and today I'm going to show you what happens to sugar and clay with a bit of steam applied to it, and also a few other interesting things. So yeah, let's have a look. So the first thing here is steaming your flower. So if you've seen my last video, I've made this rose and out of sugar, and now I'm going to steam it just like this in real time. And what it does, it seals the sugar, and so the whatever dust I applied to it would not come off. It's a bit shiny to start with, but it's gonna fade. The shine is gonna fade. I'm going to show you what it looks like in a bit and then tomorrow. So this steamer continues to steam until you switch it off, unlike kettle, which stops unless you open it. You can also use kettle, make sure you don't burn yourself. The only reason why you would want to ever steam your cold porcelain flower is when it's dried in a funny kind of a shape that you don't like very much. I mean, this is a branded cold porcelain, and yet it did dry not very nicely because I kind of didn't like it and lost interest. So anyway, if you steam it really well and thoroughly, especially if it's really dry, like this particular flower, I had it for months, it was just sitting around somewhere. So you have to get it really steamed, so all the little petals are wet. When that happens, it doesn't lose, the petals do not lose their veining, but they can be bent in a different shape, and then if you secure them in that shape, they would dry out in that new shape. Whereas if you had not been using the steamer, the shape would just spring back as soon as you remove that thing that holds them in place. So steamer, it does not create miracles, but it can, if absolutely have to, correct some mistakes in drying in cold porcelain. For some reason it took me absolute ages to figure out that I could just use the stable fixative for art materials from an art shop to kind of fixate whatever I dust my cold porcelain with. So I'm gonna give you a little demo here. Slightly confusingly, the foliage here is made out of cold porcelain, even though the flower is in sugar. I just ran out of sugar paste here. And so nothing comes off these leaves, but I'm gonna spray it anyway. I was trying to demonstrate and get it all in a shot, so actually you need to hold your fixative spray a lot further, and it looks really shiny. It shouldn't really, but all it means that it's going to take a little bit longer to kind of dry. Okay, so this chrysanthemum is finished with oil paint. I really wasn't sure whether this fixative was going to work, but it did work beautifully. Now this chrysanthemum just has a teeny weeny bit of dust right there in the middle, but all I want to see if the petals themselves are going to go shiny after the spraying with fixative. So this old poppy from one of my old videos is really heavily dusted. See, I could even smudge it out. So I'm wondering what's going to happen after fixative. So as you could see, the shine shows off the most on this one, and this oil finished one, it doesn't show off any shine, but it worked really beautifully actually. And this one is extremely shiny. I was absolutely sure that the shine would remain to some extent. So let's have a look what happened the next day. So firstly, sugar. It doesn't look rubbery and it's not shiny. What isn't mentioned very often, it seems, that sometimes after steaming sugar it does go a shade darker. Now a very pleasant result indeed. After using fixative, my oil finished no longer rubs off. And here, very clear demo, fixative fully dry, no sheen whatsoever. And the same goes for poppy, heavily dusted poppy. The dust does not come off and there is no trace of sheen on the petals. And finally, this is that lame peony, write-off peony that I've steamed and reshaped. I mean, nothing spectacular there, but as I predicted, it's all dried in a new shape. So not ideal and not the technique I recommend, but it does work for slight tinkering.